Hi, my name is Songbito, and welcome to another solo scenario. Now, this is going to be major spoiler warning here for Envelope X. If you've not completed and reached the end of Envelope X and done the long chain of puzzles and stuff, you may want to avert your eyes and go watch another one of my solo scenarios under the youtube.com/songbird other channel. If that's how you found this, then you may want to just ignore this video and come back to it at a later date. Now, when I mean solve it, I don't mean, oh, hey, there's a funny text, I can decode it. Hey, I solved it. That's not what I mean. If you've solved it and you've read the text and you've figured out what it means, the text, and you followed it through to the end, then you're good to go. If not, like I said, no hard feelings, you can come back at a later date. This video is not going anywhere, so you have 10 seconds to change your mind. Alright, last chance. You sure? Okay, here we go. Welcome to the Bladeswarm Solo Scenario Challenge. This is class number 18 of Gloomhaven, which actually makes me wonder what the Aether Diviner is going to be numbered as. Is that going to be classified as 19 and hint that there's an 18th class? I'm not entirely sure. But I guess first a brief little story of how we and when we discovered this. We were just starting the last act of the main campaign. That's the leading up to scenario 51 of the main campaign. We hadn't done any of the boss rush ones yet, and basically we just finished off the other ones and we're doing some other side scenarios and stuff like that. Now, as far as all the clues goes, I was on a mission. I wanted to find all of this sort of flavor text. There's like 5 or 6 of them throughout the game, and I was hunting them all down over a course of a few weeks. In addition to some other spoilery things that I won't mention here, but I found some other clues. But I was like, oh, well, I thought they were related to this, but they weren't. And so if you've solved this, then you know that some of the clues are visual, like this. What I didn't know, so all the written ones, like this, I've managed to figure out and go, okay, here we go, and blah, 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 and track it down and get those clues figured out. But the visual ones, I didn't know that there was more than just this one. There's apparently like 4 or 5 of them. And when we were playing physical, I noticed another symbol on somewhere in the game. I won't say where, in case you have gotten past the spoiler warnings. And anyway, so I noticed that there's some more symbols on game once. Then I hunted through the rest of the game. It took a few hours, but eventually I found the rest of them. And then I posted in my Discord and said, hey, here's all the clues and all the answers. Let's see if we can't put it all together. And then the other people in our party managed to figure out and get the final solution, which leads to the Bladeswarm. So the Bladeswarm is another harrower, if you're not familiar, like the Cthulhu. That was another kind of, when I saw it, I'm like, I knew there was another harrower class. So this class is basically centered around 2 mechanics, and the first is a whole bunch of multi-target attacks. You notice the top is 2 damage, 3 targets, 3 damage, 2 targets. And I deleted it, didn't I? Yeah. So the Gloomhaven on Tabletop, that is under this is the fantasy mod. Where was I? Oh yeah, so he is centered around multi-target attacks, and the other thing he's centered around is a whole bunch of summons. So yeah, if you're familiar with summon classes, yeah, he's another summon class, unfortunately. However, I will say, and I'm not going to go through that build in this one, because I despite the perk that he has, I still don't like summons. But he has, wherever that card is, here we go, the top of this. You may control the actions of all the summon cards, about the summons you own. Or if you want to let them run free, you can shield them with 2. That is a pretty powerful card. The only problem is there's two types of summon builds. You can go around, you can focus around, if I can find it. Do I have it? It might be a higher level card. Here we it might be a higher level card. You can center around focusing on making one really big summon or making a shit ton of little ones. The problem with doing a shit ton of little ones is that there's a lot of dyssynergy, non-synergy between them. Like this one, if this thing ever ends up next to an ally, they suffer 1 damage. If this thing is ever next to an ally, it loses its shield. Now there are some that give you synergy, like this one says all adjacent allies add +1 to their attacks, but yeah, anyway. So we're not going to do the summon build, but it is something to look at and maybe consider if you're into that sort of thing. It gives you a lot more control over your summons than the summoner class, for instance. The other thing in comparison to the summoner class is that this guy has 11 cards, not 9. He doesn't really have a way to get his cards back with the exception of 1 or 2 abilities like this. You can recover one of your cards and immediately play it. So it doesn't ever really increase your hand size again after losing the card, but you can get back if you lost your big, powerful one-off summon. This will allow you to get it back so you can play it a second time at least. Keep in mind that there's a misprint on this. The top should be a non-recoverable loss. But anyways, like I said, we were doing a multi-target attack sort of build. I guess we should go over what the scenario is all about and sort of what's going to go on here. So starting with the introduction. Your memories are foggy and obscured. You spent so much time in slumber, lying in wait for the appointed hour, and now that it has come, you do not remember what it was you were waiting for. Initially, you had hoped that those who spoke the word of your awakening would give you purpose, and they have, but you were meant for something greater, something that even your new allies don't yet see. In the back of your thoughts, you feel a building pressure. There is something that you need to do, some great threat on the horizon. If only you could remember. Like a dam overflowing, the pressure in your mind finally pushes out a singular thought. You need to recover your sword. It will play an important part in the coming times, and it is close, buried in the sandy shores east of Gloomhaven. The temple that houses it is hidden, but you remember the way. With an ancient word, the tomb rises up from the sands as you approach. Such things were not meant for mortal eyes, so you enter alone. There will be fighting, guardians placed to test your strength and will, but you are confident that you'll pass the trials. The world depends on it. So another thing to keep in mind is that because this is a hidden class, there isn't a whole lot of proofreading. I think on the back of here, there's 2 typos in the last sentence. Purpose of their awakening is still shrouded, and flurry of archaic swords. So keep that in mind. Like I said, this should be a non-recoverable loss top, and I think there's another one that should be the same way. So there are some typos. Just look up the FAQ, I believe, or was it message Isaac directly? I don't remember. But look up the answers. So this scenario is, solo scenario like everyone else. This is a pretty basic one. There aren't any special rules or anything. It's just a matter of kill everything. The first room is a whole lot of vipers. We got 6 of them. They have all got 4 health, not 5. Interesting. Why do you have 5 health? So let's change that quick, shall we? The clicking box on that is a little tiny. Click, 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 click. Okay. So they have 4. The elites have 8. So the 4s are really easy to kill off. This is a solo challenge scenario. These are scenarios designed specifically for only one character, and the scenario itself is made in such a way as to highlight the character's strength. So for instance, if you have a really support-heavy class, like healing-based, then the scenario will be focused around you pumping out a lot of healing or supporting NPCs or something like that. So I need to actually save. Good question, though. And there are one for each class, and there will be also one for... Oh, I never pushed update. Thank you. I changed the stream to say Major Spoiler Warning Envelope X, and I forgot to click the update button. Silly me. Anyway, so the first room, there are some Vipers. Vipers are relatively easy to kill. The little ones, I should be able to knock out most of them right away. The elite ones are more of a pain. It's not so much that they do a lot of damage, because they only do 2. The thing is, they poison. And that's going to be annoying. In the next room, it's a bunch of spirits, and their annoyance is that they're shielded. They've all got 2 shield. They only got 3 health. But given I am... yes, I've done all the classes so far. They are all under my YouTube channel, youtube.com/songbird. The only reason this class isn't done yet is because we just unlocked them like a week or 2 ago. Anyways, so the spirits have 2 shield, and most of my things are really small attacks, which means I'm going to have a real hard time getting through the shield. I do have a plan for them, and I'll get over that when we get there. Likewise with the stone golem here. He has 3 shields, so he's even harder to get through. And so with these heavily shielded guys, we're going to try and rely on the ability for wound to do up to 2 damage a piece, or 2 damage a turn, in addition to poisoning them to help get through the shield and that sort of thing. But like I said, we'll get to that when we get to it. Starting with... Anyway, the class of the build, starting with the perks. I'm going to set it up similar to our other solo scenarios that I did myself. The character is going to be level 5, so we're on scenario level 3. And at the time, I had 3 retired characters, which means there's a total of 7 perks available. So we took the first 6 and then the ignore item effects. The first 2 are just removing negatives and making the deck smaller. The next 4 are, again, just removing negatives. This has a net positive effect of 2 damage per card, but it makes the deck so that there is only 2 negatives, the miss and the -1. And in combination with the strengthen and the goggles, we should never ever pull either of those cards. Now the problem with the tabletop mod is that these cards are garbage. The cards that were provided with the class are kind of garbage. So I had to fish some out from other classes. And, oh, half of my cards are missing. Oh, no, never mind. That's right. These are the only special ones I made. In addition to the +1, which I stole from the Tinkerer. So, the +1 win we stole from the Cthulhu. These are actually rolling modifiers. But I just took them from their respective decks, so that I have them. So those are actually +1 cards. Items wise, we had 90 gold and a 5 gold discount. And so we're just getting some boots for a little bit of movement. There's going to be a point where I'll need that. Poison dagger, plan to use it early. I'm probably one of the Vipers and then getting it back later. Yeah, I didn't think about it, Pat. Sorry. Just like you also need to import this, because this is nowhere to be found either. So, I mean, I know how to make the cards, I just didn't want to make... I guess I would only had to make 4, huh? Anyway. So, spoiler on the the final item, I guess. This is Cthulhu Plaguebearer. It is... You can look it up. I'm not going to say. The hide armor is really cheap with 5 gold discounts, only 5, so it's just basically a chest spot that will prevent 2 damage and then be able to get me 4 total plus a long rest, so potentially up to 6 health from this thing. Advantage goggles, pretty straightforward. You get advantage on the entire attack, and given that we're multi-target, that is really, really powerful. We've got stamina potion. I'm not entirely sure where I plan to use this yet, but it will get used at some point. Power potion... I'm trying to think. It's probably going to be used in the first room with the Vipers. On the second attack with only 2 damage to help me kill off the elites. And then the health potion is after I clear off the poison. It'll bring me back up to some decent health. Okay, on to the ability cards. The 3 level X's we're not going to be using. This top one's kind of interesting because it's a move top and attack, but I'm not going to worry about looting. We're just going to worry about doing the scenario. This class in general has a lot of sub 20 initiatives, so even though that is really fast for most classes, it's okay for him. This one, we don't really have any. I take that back. We're going to be using like maybe 1 or 2 burger cards. We don't really need it. And the bottom, we're not summoning anything, so it's just completely useless. This thing, again, the bottom, we're not using summons, so that's not going to help us. And the top is just a tanky summon, which we shouldn't need or want. On to this one. This one's a tanky one, which again, we're not planning to do. We need to do a lot of damage. This one, again, we mentioned before, is all about summons, which we're not taking. This one I considered taking because we don't really have any burns for the most part. And this would give me a lot of healing, but the other cards that I took were based around trying to get a nice balance of top and bottom actions, and I've already got enough top actions as it is. So on to the ones that we are taking. This one specifically for the bottom. All allies and enemies suffer 1 damage, so it's free damage with the move, so it's like doing attacks on top and then free damage on bottom is the idea of this, and we'll be using this a few times. This is just straight for move 5. This one is just straight for move 4. You could take either one, but I might use the summon on top here and stick them in the door so that I get a +1 attack moving into the 2nd and 3rd rooms. This we're using for the top to wound, and then after the last guy is wounded, we might have a time to get the bottom going as well. Maybe. I have no idea. What is this for? Oh, this one is for specifically for the bottom, so that the wound does 2 damage a turn. That's going to be really important with all the shielded enemies later on. These two are kind of similar, but opposite almost. So this is 2 damage, 3 target. This is 3 damage, 2 target. The interesting thing is in the bottoms, the really unique effect here. When attacking this round, consider any negative and null a 0. Given that we only have 2 of those in our deck, the bottom on this one's not as useful. This one is, though, and we might use this one as the bottom instead of the top attack, even though it is 3 damage, because the monster modifier deck still has plenty of positives. And this affects essentially 5, 6, 7 cards. So it makes it so that there is, 13 zeros in the monster modifier deck when you're attacked that turn, which is going to be really, really important to prevent some damage. Okay, on to the level-specific cards. Level 2, we're taking the top. We already got a lot of movement, move 4, move 5s, and then some other move 2s. With Boots of Striding, I don't really need another one. If the top was useful, I might consider taking it, but this one, really fast initiative. I think 9 is the fastest I have right now. Sub 10 initiatives, pretty rare and pretty good. The top action itself, it's a small heal, which will be able to heal off the poison, and it also muddles enemies, so if there's anything still alive, I'll be harder to hit, which is a good thing to have. Level 3, we're actually taking both level 3 cards and skipping both level 4 cards. The level 4, this one's centered around tanking, and this one is... The bottom of this is basically if you run up to a ranged guy, and then he takes a step back, and then you move in, so it kind of makes them muddled. The top is just a way to get more attacks out, but I don't really find a whole lot of use out of that given how much I'm attacking already. I mean, it could have some uses, don't get me wrong, but the other ones we are taking is this one. It's a 3 damage, 3 attack top, or 3 target top. So essentially this is a direct replacement for this one with an extra target and a direct upgrade to that one. So this is better than both of those, and we'll be using it early. But this one, the reason why we took the second one is because it's Strengthen. Having a nice free Strengthen on the bottom, it's kind of like the Lightning Bolt class that I had. I actually put a Strengthen on one of his abilities, because that is really nice to do. That is really nice to apply on your turn because you get it that turn and the following turn. And then our level 4 card, we take the most OP card. 4 target, 2 damage, enemies up to 2 hexes away. The bottom might be used to finish off the Vipers because it does 1 damage for all enemies move through. But we'll see when we get to that. And then this one is just another summon, which If you have a lot of summoned allies, this could be useful to power them all up. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the cards. I'm not going to go over the level 6 and up. I think when you get to like level 7 or level 8, there's a card that allows you to attack the same enemy multiple times if you have multi-targets like this. And that could be really useful against going against the golem. Especially in conjunction with the poison does extra damage and, you know, using power potions because it's a single attack action and that sort of thing. Okay. So we read the intro, we got the cards. What do you say we take a crack at it? Battle goals, aggressor and have 3 or fewer total cards in your hand. That might happen. This one won't happen. I planned a long rest before opening that last door. So we'll go for that one. And let's see, what do I need? I need a modifier deck. I'm not putting any curses in their deck. They might put curses in mine though. So I'll grab that just in case. Because these spirits can curse. Okay, one last shuffle here. And our plan, we could start any of these 3. We're starting here specifically so that only 3 Vipers can attack us. And it looks like with their base move, this one, that one, and this one will, and that one will stay in place. These guys, of course, get to move first, but they're not going to be getting to me unless they have jump. But even with jump, they still won't be able to get me until next turn. So turn 1, the plan is to go late to let the Vipers come close and then attack all of them. This will do 1 damage to all of them, and then this is a base 3 attack. And so we'll use our goggles to guarantee they die. And then we're going to go quick the next turn to... I guess it really depends on the next turn what where the elites were. There is 1 card in their deck where they don't attack, or sorry, where they don't move. And if that happens, then I'll just run up and whack these 2 and then deal with it. But right now the plan is just to stay where I am. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I can get there. Good. Okay, so turn 1. We're using 90 to move 3. Where's the move 3? We're using the 88 as our initiative here because we want to go late. So Vipers. They are moving not a whole lot and then attacking extra hard. So they've only got 2 movement and no jump. So what they're going to do is they're going to try to come around the obstacles. Hello. Number 4 cannot reach me. Number 5 can. Number 5 can. 7 can't. 10 can't. So I only get attacked by 1. That's nice. Okay, so 5 is going to attack me for 3 damage, and here comes the poison. 2 damage. 1 damage. And poison. Only 1 move on normals. I think you're looking at the attack. But thank you for checking. I need to poison myself. That's okay. We need someone to keep me accountable. And then it's my turn. So we get to move up and do 1 damage apiece. And this is 3 damage, 3 target. And like I said, we're going to use advantage goggles just to make sure that we do a flat 3 damage to everybody. So long as we don't draw 2 negatives in a row, we should be good. So I'll start in order 4, 5, and 7. So 4, yep, 5, yep, 7. Yep, okay, that's plenty. And we generate Earth, not that it really matters. And that's that round. So we got a little poison, but that's okay. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4. The elite vipers cannot reach me no matter what happens. So I think I want to let them come to me. And do the 2 damage. So we're going to do this whole late 98 with... Oh, no, the other one. The only couple of target 3 damage. Because this guy's going to be here, and these guys are going to be spread out. I'm going to run up and try to kill the elites before they get in there attacking. The small one I can take another hit from. It's not a big deal. And then after they're dead, then I'll deal with the small ones. Although this won't be useful anymore, because hopefully they'll be dead. Oh no, wait, never mind. Ignore me. +1 movement and jump. So now they have move 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I am not... Oh, attacks gain disadvantage. That sucks, but... So now they're in a good spot. This one is going to move up. He is going to attack me for 1 damage. 0 damage, but 1 with poison, which means this will get used. And then it's my turn. So if I'm using this to move and strengthen, so I'll get a coin for that. Not that I'm really carrying it over, but... What was this again? Okay, yeah. So I'm strengthened now. I gotta remember to shuffle that because there's a ×2. Okay, there's only 2 targets, but I really want to make sure that we kill them. This is... I might wait on the power potion until next turn, because I'll be hitting all 3 of them with that, which means I could potentially kill them all next turn. So I'm not going to use the power potion this turn. So we're just going to do 3 damage. My strengthen cancels out their disadvantage, and so it's just 3 damage to each of them. So 2 damage to the first one and 3 damage to the second one. Okay, and that's that round. I still have strengthen until the end of next round. Okay, the element is gone. So this turn we want to, depending on what we have, the goal I think is to do the bottom of this. And so that'll just, finish it off, sort of thing, is the plan. So 22 is our initiative. We want to go quick. 23! Alright. And 2 attacks, which isn't great, so we want to end further away from them if we have to be. So we still have strengthened. They're no longer disadvantaged. I am going to use the power potion to gain +1 attack to all attacks. Do I want to poison one since I'm going to long rest anyways? I could poison this one because it has the higher HP. Yeah, I think I'll poison this one. We're attacking this one first. So this is 3 damage, strengthen against all of them. So starting with the first one and poison. 3 damage for 5 damage and poison. He's down to 1 health. And he's poisoned. Okay, now number 8. It's a +1. So that's what, 4? Okay. And then this one. Come on, ×2. You lost the +1, so it's just +1. I forgot what that was. 1, 2, 3, 4 to this guy, so I killed the normal one. Which is good. Okay. Alright, and now we can use the bottom of this to move. All enemies moved through suffer 1 damage. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Which will go blam, blam, and there we go. Viper's taken care of. Unfortunately, I didn't get the poison healed off of me, but I've only taken 1 hit, so it's not all that bad. And now we need to move towards the next door, which means I could use this as an opportunity to get the soul leeches out and get the wound going this turn. Which means I actually want to end back here so I can summon the guy here. Okay. I didn't get any times twos, right? Nope. Alright. So the only negative in there is the null right now, which is good. So we are, this turn, we're going to summon soul leeches behind us, just because when we're out of range of it, if we are not within range 3, we get to add 1 to all of our attack rolls, which will be really, really nice for the golem. So we will, that is not what I was looking for. Okay, so soul leeches. I'm not going to bother the experience because this thing is just going to level right up to level 8 after this. So, and then we're using the bottom of this to all enemies suffer 1 wound damage. And that's that round. So this round, we are going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's it. Okay. So we want to long rest this turn. This guy doesn't have a target, so he doesn't move. And that thing doesn't do anything. So we're long resting this turn, which means the poison will get automatically healed off. Which is really nice, because now I can use my my healing potion whenever I need. And now we need to long rest, which means we need to figure out a card we probably don't need anymore. That'll be useful. That could be useful. This one, not so much. Other than just the flat damage. Probably this one. In fact, I'm almost sure this one. Other than it allows me to go quick. I'll need to move 5 for this one. Definitely still need you. I do have that as a 3 damage. And these are also 2 damage. So I think I might do this one because I don't really have any negatives. So we're going to get rid of our 11 there. And that's our long rest. So now that that's done, we get the other 7 cards back. And so we've got 8 now in our hand. So the plan for this one is to draw the spirits out. And there isn't really anything else I can do. Fortunately, the summon will go before me, so he won't move. The summon has a movement of what? Movement of 2, yeah, so I gotta keep ahead of it. The big thing is just open the door and run. 1. Well, we'll see what they're doing, and then we'll adjust accordingly, but... So we need... Because next turn we plan to move back with this, do some damage and wound them. So this is next turn. Which is a little unfortunate that I go so late, but... if I do my job correctly this time, they shouldn't attack me this turn. So that's next turn. This turn, we want to move 5, and... Doesn't matter. Not particularly. Go with that. Go with this. How much do they hit for? They hit for 3. I'm not poisoned anymore, which is great, but I think we're going to go with that. So we're going to go 9, because why not? And we're going to move 5. So first things first, we're going to move, which would reveal the room and reveal what they're doing. They're not moving as far, so they only get 2 movement. They're attacking range 2, and they're healing self, which I'm not going to attack them this turn. So just for argument's sake, here's 1, 2, 3, and that's basically all they can do. And then they're range 2, which means I want to go 1, 2, 3, 4 back. because I still have 4 movement. I went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. Which means next turn they have a full 3, which means they're going to kind of crowd around this door. Ooh, hold on. I'm trying to remember, do they ever get plus range? That would kind of screw me, because then one's going to go here. 1, 2... Well, he would have to... If they got +1 range, they would have to still come through, so that would be fine still. Okay. And they do a flying, so I think this is where we're going to stand. So that's what we're doing. The summon went before me, so he didn't have a chance to move. And then the spirits moved here, attacked range 2, which is all they can reach is the door or this hex. And heal self, which they're already at full, so that's that round. Now this round we're going late, which means we might actually take a hit or 2 or 3. But we just got this back and we're not poisoned, so we should be fine. So 59 is our initiative, so we're going to try to go, let's go 88, just to make sure that we go after them. Because they can go kind of slow. Okay. That's unfortunate. So they're going move 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. That is unfortunate because now I can't hit them all. And they're cursing all enemies within range, range 3, so I do end up getting 1 curse to my deck. And they generate frost. So it kind of sucks. I was going... What the hell? Oh, that's not an infinite deck anymore. Interesting. I haven't played this mod in a while, so we added a curse to my deck, so now there's 2 negatives in there. That's unfortunate. Okay, so that's all they're doing, though. And now... Yeah, I was kind of hoping just to go here, but now it's my turn. This guy moves 2. And then my turn, I get to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Which will do 1 damage to them, 1 damage to them, and curse them. Or not curse them, wound them. Which means at the start of their next turn, they will die. Now, I just gotta go over here next turn and do 1 damage to them. And we'll be good. What do you do? Are you ranged? No, you're melee. And you do less damage. Yeah, so you want... Basically with this one, you want to summon them and then get really far away. Unless you want him to do more damage, in which case then you want him close. I was misreading that, okay. End of the round, this goes here. I want to go as quick as I can to get my biggest attack that I can. And given it's going to take me 2 turns to... hold on a second. Yeah, I can't wound him, so I do need to actually do some damage to him. Strengthen. I'm not really afraid of getting a hit from him. If I draw... I would need a +2 or ×2 to get through that. I can use this... I can definitely... Well, the strengthen won't get me there, because I've already used my boots here, right? So I'll need to use the jump. Use the jump to get over, which will do 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so there's no way I can... Well, I can do 1 damage guaranteed with this. And then strengthen will help with the advantages. So we'll do 14. And they got 67. They are stunning. So yeah, let's try to kill them. First things first, this guy moves up, which means I don't get the +1 attack, unfortunately. 1, 2, 3, I'm gonna go. Now I almost wish I stunned these guys to do it the other way. Or not stunned them, wounded them so I could get moving forward, but... because if I did that, then I would be on the other side of them. I would be out of range 3 and I'd have a +1 attack. So you might want to do that. Wait a minute, Aaron, you dummy. This one. Because I jumped. I was not strengthening. So then this is 3 damage. It's just going to be to this one because that one doesn't matter. And generates leaf. 3 damage. Do I want to poison him? Am I going to get another long rest in here? I might as well. Sure, let's poison him. In case I don't kill him. 3 damage. Hey, look at that. ×2 is 6. He only has 2 shield, which means this guy dies. And yeah, there we go. Okay, and then their turn goes because this wound thing is going. They both take 2 damage, go bloop bloop, and die. Bit of a setback that didn't go in the door, but so far not bad. Okay, next turn. This guy's not going to move again. I've already used my boots, so best I can do is move 2, grab coin, and then we're going to long rest because we might as well. See, that's what I mean. We were definitely not going to get aggressor. So we are long resting, which means we'll get this back. We'll get that back, and we'll be back up to full health again. So long rest. What do we want to get rid of now? Anything multi-target for the most part. This is free damage, so we'll keep it. This only prevents damage, and this heals. This might be useful, because this allows me to attack, muddle him, get away from him as a bottom action. Might not be a bad idea to keep that. I think I'll keep the move 5 for 1 more round. Strengthen's going to be important. Actually, that one, yeah. 3 damage, 2 target, 2 damage. I might be getting rid of this one, because this is guaranteed damage. This is guaranteed damage. This is required. Yeah, I think I'm getting rid of this. Okay. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. I could certainly open the door. Their base move is 2. If I do that, well, I could open the door, figure out what he's doing, and then either run up and attack him, or run up and wound him, or run away. So, we'll do that. Do I want to attack him? No, I think I'd rather wound him and then go quick next turn and... Oh! Oops. I totally did not apply the other effect of this card. I just applied wound. I didn't need to do the whole run up and do damage to them. I could have just wounded them because... the wound itself will do 2 on their turn, and then it does 1 damage to itself. So I didn't need this for that. Interesting. Okay, well, anyway. So I overkilled them. The spirits would have been down to 1 health instead of 2, and then they would have died. The whole 2 damage wound will still be useful in the next room. So anyway, we're going to move 5, probably 6, 7, and get in there. Yeah. So because we go before, or because our summon goes before us, the summon will stay there. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open the door. They are moving extra and doing damage to themselves. He's just doing a base attack 5, which I could probably take. So I'll use the boots to go 2, get a wound on him, which means he will take a damage. And then he will wound, which means I think I can discard a card per turn and then just not even bother at this point. Because I also have the healing and stuff, and I can negate it with this. Yeah, this guy's going down. So he is going to move, but he's already adjacent to me, and then he's going to attack me for 5 damage. 3 damage. 2 damage. Okay. And that's the round. So, oh, sorry, he took 2 damage for the wound yet. There we go. Okay, now we could just go quick, prolong it. It is just one attack, no matter what I do here. Get a strength in this round. Next round, attack as hard as I can. This will muddle it and protect me, and then hopefully after this, I don't know why I'm flipping them. So we'll go 9 as our initiative here. 11, good. That means we get to go before you retaliate. Okay, so this summon moves up 2. He's still out of range of me. I will move 2. Strength and self. I'm just trying to get away from the summon. That's what I'm trying to do. And so the summon is still far enough away from me. As far as strength, I guess I didn't need the strength in this time, but It'll last for 2 rounds, so you might as well. And I haven't used my potion yet. I am going to poison him. So this is going to be a 2 damage muddle attack. Advantage. 3, 2, 4 damage. So 4 damage. He's got 3 shields, so 1 gets through. And he is now poisoned. Yeah, I basically need to get that high of attack to actually do anything. So he is now muddled as well, which I will apply. And then, because I targeted 1, I get to heal 1, but I'm already... Oh, I'm not at full. What am I talking about? So I heal 1 from that. Okay. And now the guy goes, he gets his retaliate up, but nobody's attacking him. He does take 1-2 damage from the wound, and then he loses the muddle. Okay. And then we'll shuffle this. Alright, so this round we got our biggest attack, which is 3 damage here. And then we will also do... all enemies move through suffer 1 damage. So no, either one of these are just going to do 1 damage. I think I'll put this in here in case I can get rid of it. Because it's a high initiative card and I don't really want that. So 14 will be initiative here. And we'll use this to move. Get further away from that guy. 72. He is attacking range, so if I stay within melee of him, he'll be muddled for this attack too. And he also is going to do 2 damage to himself. Wow. Okay. So the summon moves up. I am going to move. Because I don't think I'll be able to kill him. Oop. Hello, camera. Which means he'll take 1 damage from the bottom of that ability. And then I'm going to attack 3, 4 damage because the summon is still far enough away. Four damage. I still have strengthened, so 4 is 5. And we've got poison, which is 6. So then he has 3 shields, so he goes 1, 2, 3 down. And not quite enough for him to kill himself this turn, though. Oh, that's an understatement. So I recently picked the game up for 120, I think it was. And then it turns out it got damaged in shipment. And then they're like, how about we just give you like 15% off? And I'm like, you know what? Gloomhaven for $100, hard to argue. And this is after already spending probably 150 to 200 hours into it. Not counting solo missions, not counting casual. I'm currently technically running 3 campaigns right now. A 3 to 4 player one with my college buddies, a 2-player one with my wife, and I'm also running a solo one. So, yeah, I would say it's worth the purchase. Golem, he takes 2 damage for the wound, and then he's going to attack me for 6 damage, but he's muddled. So 5 damage, 4 damage. I can take 4 damage. Okay, and then he suffers 2 damage, which means I will short rest. I will go as late as I can. He dies. I grab the coin, and we're done. You know, I gotta say, I might have gotten lucky with this first off, but every room did not seem as hard as a normal solo scenario is. And I don't know if that's just not enough playtesting involved, because it is a hidden class. I don't know. I am a little sad, a little disappointed. I don't know how to describe that. But anyway, conclusion. With the last of the Guardians destroyed, you move to the back of the temple and speak another word lost to time. An altar rises from the ground carrying a sword that feels both familiar and foreign. You wield it at once. Flashes of an epic battle rage in your mind, but the details remain unclear. You take it from the altar and leave the temple, speaking a word to sink the stone structure back into the sands. Only time will reveal this mystery. So that means with that we have unlocked The Sword of the Sands. I did not get anywhere close to my battle goal. I was too efficient. I didn't lose nearly enough health or cards. So really cool with this. The only really cool with this is it. Oops, sorry. Poison and wound to the entire attack action. Given that he is a multi-target class, this is insane. Especially, you know, spreading wound and poison like that. And I wish I didn't delete the higher level ones, but just being able to spread poison up to 4 targets. Poison and wound, mind you, up to 4 targets. And then if you've got the extra wound damage or extra poison damage in addition to that, especially the extra poison, because you can later do multiple attacks to the same target, and this just starts ramping up so quickly. This is going to be really fun for the few scenarios that we have it for. I think it's going to be like 5 scenarios and I'll be done and retiring him already, but still, it'll be a good time. Anyway, so that is the Bladeswarm solo scenario. Thank you so much for watching. If you would like to see the other solo scenarios, I have done all 17 classes. Well, actually, this would be 18 up until now. They can be found on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/songbirother. So go ahead and check them out.